Hello to everybody that's watching the Northwood Sporting Journal television show. We're at Shands' Guide Service in Cornville, Maine today. I'm Lee Shands, Master Maine Guide and associated with the Sporting Journal. I've been a good friend of Vic's for quite a while, and I'm the head pro staff for Top Gun Game Calls. And we've been using the game calls today. It's Youth Turkey Day. Took a couple of young fellows out looking for turkeys today and saw a lot of birds. We didn't make a kill today, but it was a successful day. We saw a lot of birds, a lot of big toms. Could have shot some jakes earlier in the morning, but we were holding out for a big tom, and we did see some nice toms, and we called them in, but not quite close enough to make a clean kill, so we passed on that. But I'm going to be giving a few tips on different things that you might need on your turkey hunt and how to use some of the equipment. A couple of things that we learned today while we were out was always have a backup plan. We went out last night and we roosted some birds, had some nice toms in the back of a field, but prior experience had taught us that we better have some other places in mind in case someone got there before us. And it did happen this morning, but luckily we were the first ones there. Some guys pulled in behind us, but they were courteous and they left and went somewhere else, so we were able to hunt our primary spot this morning. But some advice I'd like to give you is just make sure that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure that you have 2 or 3 different spots picked out so that if you show up in the morning and someone's already at your spot, rather than wreck somebody else's hunt, it's a courteous thing to do is to go somewhere else and try to hunt when you're not on top of someone else. Another thing that we learned today was don't be squirming around. Those turkeys, they have good eyesight, and if you wiggle around, they're going to spot you. So make sure you've got a nice comfortable seat and get all your business done before you sit down so that you can stay in the same spot, because when you move around, we call it getting busted, and that's just what happens. The birds take off on you, so get a nice comfortable seat. A few other things that we learned this morning was be patient. We had 3 big toms came in. I believe 3 different times they passed by within us, you know, almost shooting range, but not quite. And if we had given up on them, you know, we wouldn't have got the good footage that we did. And we also came close to getting an opportunity after we thought we were going to miss out on that. So if the first time the birds pass your decoys, if you don't get a shot off, don't panic. Think you need to pick up and go somewhere else. A lot of times they'll mill around in the field and they'll come back and they may give you another opportunity later on in the day. Last tip is make sure you have fun. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before. We didn't actually kill a turkey today, but we got a lot of good footage for the show, and we don't always kill turkeys. The success rate on turkeys is much better than it is deer, and if you go out through the course of the season, you're probably going to get your bird. We could have shot some jakes today, immature males, but we kind of had our heart set on a big tom, and we got some in reasonably close, but just not quite close enough to make a clean kill. but it was still a great experience. We took 2 young kids out. Like I said, it was Youth Day. The state has been good enough to give the Saturday before the regular season, any child under 16 or young man under 16 can go out and hunt with an adult. He has to have adult supervision, but it gives them a chance to be introduced to the sport without competition from other hunters. And just make sure that while you're out there that you practice safety. The big issue for me running my sporting camps is I always tell everyone that it's great to get out in the woods and have a good time, but the first time you have a bad accident, it'll wreck it for you for life. So always make sure that safety is a priority. Always have them checking their safety, make sure they keep their guns pointed in a safe direction, and just make a day of it. You can hunt until noontime now in Maine on turkeys, and it's a fun time. The weather's decent. It was supposed to rain today, but it held off for us, and the weather was quite comfortable. Had a great time, saw a lot of game. We saw deer as well as turkeys, and everybody had a good time. So